2-5-1 major to minor with rootless position in the left hand, which I also call the third way, because it's a part of a four-way interconnected system of voicing where one way is actually based and learned best when the other one preceding it was studied. So conclusion is, if you have not watched and learned the first and second way, I highly recommend that you watch those videos. 2-5-1 with shell voicing and 2-5-1 major to minor, of course, with full voicing. So I'll show you the interconnectedness here because it will help you learn this voicing in the left hand. So we learned that we do the 2-5-1 with shells like this in the first way. In the second way, we take the same shell notes, we just add voicing, a fuller voicing here with adding the fifth here and the ninth here, and we still move the shells in the same fashion. And what happens in the third way, basically, it's the same. We use the same shells. We just play them with these fingers, and we go like that. Now you notice a difference here a little bit. There are two chords that apply only to the 2-5-1s in A form. So when you play 2-5-1 in A form, there are two chords that are going to be changed from what you're doing in the second way. As far as the B form, everything is going to be the same. So exactly the way you played in the right hand in the same range is what you do with the left hand. So let's walk through those examples. So here we finished here in the second way, but if we play that rootless, almost starts sounding like a minor 7 chord. It doesn't have the same tension as it had when the root was part of the voicing. See? That's a nice interval, but when it's by itself, it doesn't give you the same edge. So in order to have more edge, we are going to move this 7, major 7 to 6, and we're creating a fabulous new voicing, almost, because we have, first of all, the color here, 3, 5, and 6, really nice interval. A lot of times you would hear Herbie play just that for a major chord to allow for room here to improvise. And when you add the 9 to it here, you end up with a fourth voicing if you omit the fifth, which is the bread and butter of modern jazz piano, post Bill Evans, McCoy, and all the other piano players that followed to date. So that's the first chord. The second chord that will happen in the A form when we get to F major. And one more thing I wanted to say, I will practice this exercise totally in the range that the shells should be in. In the previous exercises, we went through each form, and we didn't care so much about range. But at the end of each one of the other videos, I did play the comping in a defined range between this D below middle C and this F above middle C. Here it's crucial because if we move too high or too low, it's not going to function well. If we're too high, we don't have a lot of room to play. We take really prime range here for improvisation. And if we go too low, it's going to start to sound really muddy, as you can hear. Not good. So let's move through those, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing. So we started with A form here, and we land here. That's the new adjustment that we make just by moving the major 7 to major 6. Now instead of continuing the A form here, where we start to get low, we move to the B form. Here we go. And notice that my pinky and index are always hitting the shell notes. They're placed on the shell notes. Opposite of what we've done in the first and second way because we're using a different hand. So here we go. So once I have the shell here, I do hear B minor, right? And here's the flat 5, and here's the 9. Do you hear that siren? That's what happens when you're in New York. Nice polychord here. Okay. That was too sad. nice. Okay. I hope everybody's okay. So here we go. And we stay with the B form to go to F. Nothing to change. But here we go. We get to the D minor, and we are going to have to play this, which worked nicely when we had the root, because as part of the voicing, it's very easy to hear it as a flat 5, minor 7 chord with a flat 5. But here it actually sounds like a minor chord with a major 7. So there's another chord that pianists of that time started to use, and we use to date. It's this one, which you might identify also as C7. It's just a very nice form to play in the left hand and works with different kind of chords. For example, this easily can be seen as C7 with a 9 and 13. But when we play the F sharp here, it becomes all of a sudden an altered dominant. Okay, so for our purpose now, we'll use it as an E half diminished. How does it work? The essence of it is really the 1 and 7. You gotta have that, and then the flat 5. That's what a flat 5 chord is. A minor 7 with a flat 5. You don't really have to have the third. So we prefer instead of the third to raise it to this note, which is the 11, and that's how we get it. So try to follow those voicing. I'll first play it slowly in the left hand and mix the forms, and I will call the keys as we go through them, and then we'll try to practice it in tempo, which is not easy. Okay, here we go. Call the key F here. You're probably hearing it, but as you progress, it's going to be hard to keep up. So it's good to mention the key and play the root once in a while to get grounded in that key. D minor. Moving to B flat major. Here's the 2. Moving to B form. That was G minor. Now E flat major. A flat, right? F minor. Moving to D flat. Here we could do B form, yes. Continuing with B form. E flat minor 7. We're getting to the sharp keys, so let's move a little slower because they can get a little confusing. C sharp minor, to F sharp 7, and B major 7. The relative minor of B major 7 is G sharp minor 7. And by the way, you should be practicing this with a circle, at least with a circle of fifths in front of you, because it tends to get really confusing otherwise. So what would be the 2 of G sharp? Let's think carefully. A sharp. So this would be the 7, and this would be the 3rd. So let's hear it first. Here's the flat 5, here's the 9. G sharp minor 7. So it's important to stop once in a while and get oriented, not to make mistakes, and learn it properly. Here we go. Let's continue in the B form here. Into E major. Going to C sharp minor. Going to A major. Going to F sharp minor 7. To D major now. That was B minor 7, which could be played here as a B form as well. G major, our last key. And now to E minor. Alright, let's take the track, and I think I mentioned in the previous videos I had to program this track into the iReal book, so if you'd like to have it for practice, just get in touch and I'll be happy to send it along. Let's try this. It's a little challenging. We're going to use 120 BPM and cover all the keys. Enjoy. See if you can follow. Go. That concludes. Before we conclude, yeah, little variations there, which is what you will learn to do, because you don't always have to use the same forms. Again, as long as you confine the range of the shell notes to the D and the F here, with the middle C in the middle. So here you go. So I hope you enjoyed this and that this will help you learn this easily and help you practice it effectively. Enjoy.